Well, I know this is kind of early because it is early August, but oh well. So, welcome back to KU Review with the men's basketball team. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockShock01, and yesterday, whenever you're watching this, the Kansas Jayhawks headed down to Puerto Rico and played in the Coliseo de Ruben Rodriguez, and they took on the Puerto Rican Select Team, and Kansas won comfortably over the Select Team by a final score of 106-71. Yeah, so this is the first time that the Kansas men's basketball team has played a game. Now, it is an exhibition as part of their Puerto Rico takeover, but it is pretty cool to see these guys suit up and play some college basketball-ish. Oh, geez, what the hell was that? But anyway, it was kind of cool to see them play. I got to watch it live via Facebook, and I blasted it on my TV. It was pretty cool to see, and we look pretty stinking good, especially facing off against these guys who are pros, basically, with a lot of them being in their late 20s and early 30s. Now, just like my previous reviews, it's going to be very similar. For those of you who do not know, I give positives and negatives about the game. I give a player of the game and a player who needs to improve. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Alright, so positives in my mind, KU's shooting numbers, for the most part, were really good. KU shot just under 50% for the game from the field, shooting 49%, but 42% from three is a big step up from a season ago, as well as shooting from the foul line, as KU shot 88% from the charity stripe. Defensively, KU did its job forcing tough shots from the Puerto Rican Select Team. The only downside to it was that Puerto Rico did shoot lights out in the second quarter, and this is going by quarters because of the rules that they're playing under, which is FIBA rules, which is 8-minute quarters, 24-second shot clocks. Goaltending is non-existent, and it is 5 fouls, but what are you going to do? But going back to the second quarter, Puerto Rico shot roughly 73% from the field. But other than that, KU did well defensively, holding Puerto Rico to shoot just at 35% from the field, shooting 24% from three and 64% from the free throw line. So making them go to the foul line, and unfortunately for them, missing shots, but also forcing terrible shots from them as well, is also a key positive. Another positive that I've got is KU's rebounding performance, which KU out-rebounded the Puerto Rican Select Team by 5, winning that one 42-37, which kind of surprises me because these guys were getting a lot of rebounds, especially down low in the paint area, which the Select Team did, but KU somehow did it. So yeah, out-rebounding them is also a positive. Forcing turnovers was a big positive in this one, as KU forced 24 Puerto Rico turnovers and scored a whopping 34 points off the turnovers, which that surprises me how fast we can get up and down the floor and force those said turnovers. Now, KU's turnovers itself, I'm going to leave that for a little bit later, but with how well we force turnovers, in fact, the turnovers in general, KU had 15 steals off of those 24 said turnovers. So yeah, KU did well forcing turnovers, so that's a positive. And then finally, the nitpick positives is points in the paint. KU won that one 48-24. A lot of that had to do with KU playing above the rim, so we are pretty athletic and we're going to do a lot of damage when it comes to alley-oops. Second chance points, KU also won that one 8-4. Fast break points, the Hawks won that one 35-14. And bench points really was the big factor, as KU won that one 55-27. So yeah, a lot of good things came out of this game, and with that said, those are my positives. Now to the negatives. And remember when I talked about the turnover situation? Well, KU did turn the ball over a bit as well, as KU had 16 turnovers in this ball game, only allowing Puerto Rico to score 8, which is fine, but still, we did play a little sloppy, which is understandable, as you don't really get that time to really get it into motion, I'm going to say, until like November hits, when you have your first real exhibition game against, I think this year is Fort Hays State. The sloppiness was going to be there. I understand that. But some of the turnovers that did happen probably might have been caused by the floor itself. Now, in international waters, there is more likely to be advertisements on the playing field, which are actually made up of like a decal, and they just stick them on the floor just so they can have that sponsorship there so they can get that revenue. Well, in this case, it does make the playing surface a little bit more difficult for players to keep their balance, and that's kind of what happened in this game, as a lot of guys kept falling. I know Hunter Dickinson slipped a couple times, Kevin McCullough slipped a couple times, Parker Brown had a slip here and there, but yeah, so just got to take better care of the ball, and I think we'll be okay. Again, it's the first exhibition game, and it's in freaking August, so when it comes to November, 16 turnovers might kill you, but in August form, it's still a negative, but it's not that crazy of a negative. At least it wasn't like 30 turnovers, but unfortunately, turning the ball over, it's got to be a negative. And the final negative that I've got is fouls. And it sucks to put it there because KU actually had less fouls than Puerto Rico, as they won the foul battle 21-20. But 20 fouls is still kind of ticky-tack, and that kind of sucks. I mean, let's see. Give me 1 second on how many guys have had 3+.
6 hours later.
Okay, not as much as I thought, but I counted 3 guys with 3+ fouls, with that being Hunter Dickinson, Kevin McCullough, and Jamari McDowell. Not too bad, but still 20 fouls did get them to the foul line more often than not. And, we just got to take better care of the ball and make sure we set our feet, make sure that we're not reaching. But again, it's early August, so I do kind of cut it some slack, but not enough to say that it's not a negative, but it is, unfortunately. So lowering the fouls has got to be a big key going forward. But for now, that is a negative. And with all that said, those are my negatives. Now the player of the game, or should I say co-players of the game, because I could not decide who to choose. And one of them is going to be a newcomer to the Kansas squad, and the other is going to be a returner. So the newcomer is actually the leading scorer of this team, and that is Arterio Morris, the transfer from the University of Texas. Arterio finished with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in 20 minutes of play, shooting 8 for 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, and 1 for 1 from the charity stripe. Yeah, Terrio was incredible. He surprised me. He didn't even get the starting job. They gave it to Nick Timberlake. But there is a good chance that after this ball game, they're going to give it to Arterio Morris, especially how well he played. He was a good ring general at times. He could shoot the ball lights out, especially when you talk about his three-point shot. I mean, 60% from 3, and also shooting 75% from the field in general. So, yeah, there's no question Arterio Morris is going to be one of my co-players of the game. Now, the returner is somebody that KU fans should love dearly, and that is KJ Adams. Did put on a little bit of weight, but it was probably a good thing because KJ Adams, oh my goodness, he played really well. KJ in this ball game, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in 26 minutes of play. 7 of 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Besides KJ Adams playing absolutely out of his mind when it's above the rim, he actually did well and kind of showing signs that he's going to improve in terms of his free throw percentage, which that wasn't great. And also, he might develop a three-point shot, which kind of scares me. But he was 50%, I'll give him credit. And one was a desperation heave as the shot clock wound down. And it was a pure swish early in the ball game. But yeah, there is signs that KJ Adams could be one of the top 3 scorers at KU this season, just on how he played alone in this ball game. But yeah, with all the signs showing that, KJ Adams is one of my co-players of the game. So with all that said, my co-players of the game are Terrio Morris and KJ Adams. Alright, player who needs to improve. This is kind of tough because a lot of guys actually played really well. The only guy that could be an honorable mention to get the award might be DeJuan Harris. 2 points, but he got 9 assists and 4 steals along with a rebound in 21 minutes, going 0 for 4 from the field and 0 for 2 from 3, but getting 2 free throw chances and making them both. But the 9 assists and 4 steals kind of really subsidize him as not being the nod. So my nod actually is going to go to a newbie from Santa Clara, and that is Parker Brown, aka Christian Brown's older brother. Parker in the game finished with 3 points, grabbing 5 rebounds, dishing out 2 assists, 1 steal, and a block in 16 minutes. Shot 1 of 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. There was times that making boneheaded decisions, losing the ball a couple times, just missing easy layups kind of hurt him as well. But again, this is kind of like jitters for him. So in retrospect, this is not supposed to hurt him at all, and not trying to be rude to him, but I think he has the ability to score more, get some more high quality rebounds, and be a force down low for KU in this upcoming season. But in this game, it just didn't show. So unfortunately for him, Parker Brown is my player who needs to improve. And that's going to do it for my review of KU versus the Puerto Rican Select Team. Again, the final score, Kansas 106, Puerto Rico 71. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell. Tell your friends about these videos. And I'm not sure if I'll see you again for another KU review in the next couple days, but if I do, they will be a couple matchups between the Bahamas national team that might feature some NBA talent. Guys like Eric Gordon, Kai Jones, DeAndre Ayton, and potentially Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors. But be on the look for that if that happens. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.